We did it again. We got cut off. Welcome to the best podcast of all times. Marie-Pierre, I did it again because I was watching it. I said, oh, the introduction was so amazing. And I go, okay, we got cut off. Doesn't matter. So my friends I'm going to repeat. That time everybody comes back. Again, this is not a podcast that you're coming here for motivation or for inspiration. There's many podcasts out there that are doing such an awesome job at that. We decided to do a podcast that is truly transformational. So it's kind of you know what, Marita? It's kind of they're sitting in class. And they're taking down notes. And then once you leave the classroom, you're going to have to do some homework, right, Marie-Pierre? Some homework. Okay, they're back. Yes, they're back. James is back. Olga's back. Linda's back. We got caught off. Anyways, so I'm really happy you're making it all the way back. Jennifer is back. Hang on. Let me wait just a few more seconds. I'm talking about this incredible transformational podcast. Make sure you're sharing it everywhere. And the main people I would share it with today is those that need a little bit more courage. And that's what we're going to cover today. Out of the 11 points, we're going to cover point number 1, unwavering courage. That's what I'm going to bring to the table. And obviously, I'm going to circle back to yesterday that without a plan, it's impossible to continue doing what you must do. Even if you have fear, it's the plan that makes it possible. And Marie-Pierre, of course, is going to walk us through exactly how to build courage step by step. You know what, Marie-Pierre? That's what everybody needs today. How do I get more courage? Remember the Yellow Brick Road, the Wizard of Oz? There was the lion. And he says, I have no courage and I need to get my courage back. But in reality, in the Wizard of Oz, where was the courage? It was very deep within himself. So today we're going to pull it out. Go watch the Wizard of Oz. It's going to help you too. Why not? So I just want to close off with this before I leave you in the hands of Marie-Pierre. I don't want you just to listen. I really want you to make the decision of the vision of who is the person you want to become. Because today is the first episode of 11 episodes that will truly be transformational and the leader you are about to become in 2026. So over to you, Marie-Pierre, before I dive deep in the subject.
Yes. Okay. So first thing to do is to share the podcast this morning. So you have the text in the comment that you can copy paste it when you share, so people understand why they should listen to the podcast. But when you have someone in mind that really needs to hear the podcast, the best way to share it is by messenger, by text message. That one-on-one that you make sure that they will click on the link and listen to the podcast this morning. And then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first, when you go on our Facebook group, Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, every time that you post, every time that you comment, every time that you react, you gain point during the month to be in the top 10 contributor of the Okay, you have to know just before. She said, okay, I'm ready to start, and then she leaves. Like, she forgot that she's on the screen. Now she's taking her book. Oh, let's put it there. No, let's do it. Here.
You have to cut me out. I forget that everybody can see me. I have to blow my nose. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to go there.
Okay, voilà. Ta-da! Okay. So, again, you can be in the top 10 contributor. Oh my god. Okay. So every time that you comment, every time that you post, every time that you react on the group, you gain point during the month to be in the top 10 contributor of the group. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 will get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. And then we have we have a draw at the end of each month. So to be in the draw, there's 2 ways. First, with the boutique. So when you place your order, when you receive your order, always make sure that you take a picture and you post on social media and you tag the Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw. And the second way, same thing, but with the books, the Millionnaires des Diamants. So every time you receive one of the book, you take a picture You're reading one of the book, you take a picture. You're doing one of the quiz book, you take a picture. You're using an agenda, you take a picture. So every day you can have a new picture that you post on social media and you tag Les Millionnaires de Diamants to be in the draw at the end of the month. And last thing, if you don't already have your ticket for the next conference, click on the link, get your ticket now so you can be with us. It's a virtual conference, so all around the world you can join us, even if the time is maybe weird for you because you are somewhere else. Don't worry, you can watch it in replay, so you will receive the link to watch it afterward if you cannot be with us on the Zoom during the conference. Voila.
Thank you, Marie-Pierre. I made you laugh today. Hey, you guys, all you guys that you're here, you better be in person at the conference. At least we take pictures with our friends here. And Martin sent me a special. Guess butter is at $3.99 at Uniprix, I think. And I said, I have to tell you, Martin, I have enough butter. Share it everywhere on social media so somebody else can go get the butter. But they're only limited to 4. What do you want me to
Oh,
do with 4? One recipe for Marie-Pierre, 4. All right, so let's dive in. And I'm hoping, again, you have pens and papers in front of you. So we're going to circle back to planning unwavering, 8 plus unwavering courage equals success. So most people don't fail because they lack desire. They fail because they never build a plan strong enough to carry the desire. Okay, so write that down. I need a plan. I need a plan, a plan. They wish, they hope, they dream, they talk, but riches and real results never come from wishing, never come from hoping, never come from talking. They come from organized planning. So the planning has to definitely be on top of that, step by step, step by step. So what they said yesterday, as we read, was, and when this is in, when the plan is there, this is where we're going to start today. Because desire is powerful, desire does give you the fire, definitely. But if the fire has no direction, it burns nothing. And I said, oh, I really love that. And I just wrote it as it was. Okay. It absolutely does nothing. So I'll give you a real example right now happening in my life. Current example in my business is just recently our recruiting is good, but it was equal to number 2. And let me be very clear. There is nothing wrong with being number 2. That's not the point. The point is we knew, or I knew, we are capable of more. We are better than that. Not better than number 2, but better than the results we were having. This is very important you understand. So what did we do? We didn't wish for better results. We didn't wait for motivation. What did we do? We planned, and we did a 6-step process. Step 1, we made a decision of the vision. So if you're taking down notes, step 1, decision of the vision. I decided I will not accept underperformance. Not I will not accept number 2. It's underperformance, not from a place of ego, but from a place of capacity. I know what we're capable of. Step 2, we asked the real question. What exactly must we do to win? That's step 2. What must we really do to win? Step 3, we implemented. We didn't talk about it. We didn't wish about it. We executed it. Step 4, we tracked. Recognition is everywhere because what gets measured improves. You want to write down another note? There's another one. What gets measured improves. This is something I say in all my coaching. You got to track whatever you want to achieve. Step 5, we validated and recognized on social media everywhere, because what you recognize will multiply. So are you recognizing your team? Are you recognizing your family? Like whatever it may be. And step 6, we bring in the top people to share how they are successful. Okay, what is working for them? And this is the truth. Desire gives you the fire, but it is planning, tracking, and the recognition that gives the fire direction. Let me repeat that one more time so you take it down. It's planning, tracking, and recognition that gives the fire direction. Now, once you have a plan, this is for all leaders out there. Once you have the plan, there is one thing that will determine whether the plan lives or dies, and that is who you become. Write it down. Who you become. Who you become. That word is tiresome because you know what? I am responsible. It all comes back to me. Napoleon Hill gives us 11 attributes of leadership. Today we will cover one, and we are going through them one by one in the next 11 episodes of our podcast. So I'm going to give you right away the 11. Don't write them down. We'll cover them as we go, but the 11 are unwavering courage, self control, a sense of justice, definitiveness of decision, definitiveness of plans, doing more than paid for, a pleasing personality, sympathy and understanding, mastery of detail, full responsibility, and cooperation. That's a lot, right? And I said, there's no way I'm going to execute this in a very rapid way. I'm doing it first for me. Sorry guys, I'm being egotistical, but it's for me. I need to become a better leader to bring you to the next level. So what we need to do first is understand unwavering courage, because I'm here to tell you three powerful examples of unwavering courage and where it can take you. So let's talk about courage, because most people misunderstand it, okay? Courage is not confidence. Courage is not certainty. Courage is not feeling ready either. Courage is action in the presence of fear. So if you're taking down notes, what is courage? It's saying to fear, buckle up, I'm going to do it anyways. That's what it is, okay? And if you're able to create visuals around that, it's really going to help you out when you're feeling something is stopping you. So I want you to picture this. You're sitting in an airplane, okay? You're sitting in an airplane. You're at the airport. The airplane is already on the runway. And now all of a sudden you hear the engines going, and you feel the vibrations. You know, for those of us that's been on a plane, we know exactly what this feels like. And you hear the power building. It's ramping up, and it's getting louder and louder. And now the plane begins to accelerate. But as it's accelerating, it's shaking. Outside, there's a huge rainstorm. Huge rainstorm. You can actually see lightnings. It's still pushing through. And everything starts shaking. There's resistance, there's noise, there's pressure. And here's the truth. The plane does not wait for the storm to stop, the resistance to stop or to disappear. No, the plane keeps going faster and stronger, more committed than ever. And then what do we witness? Not only has the plane taken off, but within minutes, we've pierced the clouds and we can see clearly now. The rain is like, it's magnificent, okay? Courage is not waiting for the fear to go away. It's not waiting for perfect conditions. Courage is accelerating while fear is still there. This is what courage is, my friends. So I've lived this many times in my life. In 89, I said to Muhammad, who's working on his doctorate degree, clear the path. You know, you're coming and sell Tupperware with me. He had a short career, guaranteed starting income at over $100,000 a year, probably today at $250,000. And we made the decision that didn't make any common sense that he was going to leave that to sell plastic with me. It was foggy, it was uncertain, there was rain, but we moved, okay? Courage is not having clarity. Courage is moving while it's still unclear. My parents left Italy, no money, no language, no certainty, just a decision. That is courage. And here's what I want you to understand before I leave you in the hands of Marie-Pierre. Every next level of our lives will require a version of us, a version of me, a version of you that you have not yet become. And the only bridge between who you are today and who you must become, the only bridge, the only bridge between the two is courage. So the question is not, do you need courage? The question is, how do you build it when you don't feel like it? And now Marie-Pierre is going to take you on that journey.
Yes, thank you, Maria. So let's continue with something a little bit more concrete because we love those stories that Maria tell us every morning, but we need to understand really at the core and make it concrete that we can really use it every day because we know that courage is we can build it on consistency And it's one thing that it usually people say, oh, I don't have courage, oh, I have courage. So it's you're not necessarily born with it, but it's something that you work every day, that you will build and with the consistency. So the question that you need to ask is, what does courage look like in your daily behavior, and how do you develop it over time? So let's start with clarification first with the courage. So many people believe that courage is something that you either have or don't have again. So there, and it's not really accurate, because courage is not a personality trait, but it's a learned and repeatable behavior. So it can be developed through your practice every day. So courage is the ability to take action despite a discomfort, despite a fear. So the focus is not on eliminating the fear, but it's on acting in the presence of fear. So it's really important to make the difference. So the goal is not to eliminate the fear, but really to act despite the fear that is there in your mind. So there's 5 steps that will help you to build that courage. So let's start with the step number 1, that is to normalize your discomfort. So first, we need to reinterpret the discomfort, because discomfort is often perceived like a signal to stop. But in reality, it's more often a signal that you are entering something new. So you don't want to ask yourself, why am I uncomfortable? But you want to ask it, what am I learning or attempting for the first time when you feel that discomfort? So you shift that mindset instead of just looking for the discomfort. You want to learn and look at what you are learning or attempting for the first time. So it's really more of something new. Then step number 2, you want to start small with repeatable action. So your courage will develop through repetition and not intensity. So you don't want to just wait for a significant moment and then you have that big moment that you say, okay, I'm going to be courageous. But you want to focus on small daily action that will require a mild discomfort. So maybe for you, it's going to be to initiate a conversation with someone, or making a call. For me, making a call. Or maybe expressing an idea, or posting your content that will, it's not a big act of courage, but it's going to be all those manageable action that will build that tolerance to that discomfort, so you can be courageous every day, and you build your courage inside of you. Then step number 3, you want to build those evidences. So your confidence will be reinforced by those evidence. So a simple method will be to document action. So if you have a journal like Millionnaires, you can always write what are those actions that you did. So you start a list of action that you did, that despite of that hesitation, or despite the discomfort, despite of fear. So at the end of the day, you can always ask yourself on your journal, what did I do today that I will normally avoid? So over time, this will create a long list of action, and that will help you to shift your perception from I'm not courageous to I can take action even if it's uncomfortable, even if I have some fear, I am courageous. So start that list every night, or what you did that needed courage. Step number 4, you want to decide in advance. So it's one of the most effective strategy is to pre-decision. So instead of relying on how you feel in the moment, you will define your action in advance. So for example, you say, okay, I will contact 10 people today, and this will remove that negotiation. So the decision is already made. That will really help you to um, act despite of fear, or if you have some hesitation in the moment. And step number 5, you want to reduce the delay between your thought and your action. So there is often that gap between the two, between your intention and your action, and the longer the delay, the more resistance that you will have when you start the action. So the objective is to shorten that gap. So when you recognize that hesitation, you want to act quickly before the overthinking begins. So this will help you to avoid your pattern from forming in your head of just thinking about the hesitation. So now let's start the moment to really self-assess where you are right now about your courage. So it's going to be a quick quiz to see where you are right now. So let's start with question number one. You can answer A, B, or C this morning. So when you feel uncomfortable about taking action, what do you usually do? A, I will avoid it or postpone it. B, I will think about it but delay. Or C, I will act within a short period of time. Question number two. In your daily routine, how often do you intentionally do something that is uncomfortable? So A, rarely, B, occasionally, or C, consistently. Question number three. When you hesitate to do something, what happens next? So A, I overthink and delay. B, I eventually act. Or C, I act quickly. So did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's? So if you have mostly A, you are avoiding discomfort that will and it will limit your growth. So courage is not being practiced consistently if you answer mostly A. If you have mostly B, now you are taking some action but not systematically. So you need more structure that will improve your consistency and build your courage. And if you answer mostly C, you are constantly acting despite of the discomfort. So your courage is being developed through your behavior daily. So again, it's not to wait the big moment to see if you are courageous, but it's going to be through all those daily actions. So 3 points to help you again to improve it. So number one, daily action. That is your three focus, daily action. One, and if you start with just one, it's perfect. So one action that will create a mild discomfort. You don't need to have that big moment, just something that you have a discomfort, but you do it anyway. Number two, pre-decision. So define your action before the day begins so you don't have to negotiate with yourself. And number three, tracking, because at the end of the day, you want to record what was done despite of fear, despite of hesitation, despite of the discomfort. So we come back to what we learned yesterday. We need to plan. So you have that decision, then you act, and then you review. So you have that plan also that will help you improve every day. So courage again is not something that you wait for, but it's something that you will build through repeated action on a daily basis. So it's small but consistent action that will reduce your hesitation and the next time. So it will increase your capacity to act despite of fear. So on that, I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye everyone.